Welcome back, Cubs. Direwolf here. And today I want to talk to you about government censorship of YouTubers and the YouTuber named COUNTDANKULA, whose real name is Marcus Meechan, who, according to Scottish news sources, was arrested for a prank video he produced on YouTube. In the video, he taught the girlfriend's dog to raise its paw when he said Sieg Heil, and to respond when he said gas the Jews.
My girlfriend is always ranting and raving about how cute and adorable her wee dog is. And so I thought I would turn them into the least cute thing that I could think of, which is a Nazi. Buddha, do you want to gas the Jews? Do you want to gas the Jews? Mum will gas the Jews, son. You want to gas the Jews? Do you want to gas the Jews? Come on, gas the Jews. Come on, gas the Jews, son. Come on. Do you want to gas the Jews? Do you want to gas the Jews? Do you want to gas the Jews? Gas the Jews? Jews. It's time to get up now, Buddha. It's time to get up. Do I gas the Jews? Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Gas the Jews. Gas the Jews. Do you want to gas the Jews? Buddha, do you want to gas the Jews? Come on, gas the Jews, mate! Come on, gas the Jews! Gas the Jews? Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Who's a good wee Nazi? What, gas the Jews? Gas the Jews? Gas the Jews? Gas the Jews. I'm not racist, by the way. I just really wanted to piss her off. Jews.
He also took video of the dog watching Nazi propaganda.
Ausgekehlt wurde von dem leichten Zeug, das die Bejahung zu finden begann. Heute müssen wir
The video in no way supported Nazism and was obviously a joke. However, when Scottish officials became aware of the video, they did not think it was very funny. As reported by the news, Scottish man who provoked outrage after filming his girlfriend's dog responding to Nazi slogans has been arrested by Lanarkshire police. Earlier this year, Marcus Meechan uploaded a video of his dog, a pug named Bubba, responding to the phrase gas the Jews and raising its paw in an imitation of Nazi salute when he heard the words Sieg Heil.
Sieg Heil!
And viewing footage of Hitler giving a speech. In the YouTube clip titled M8 Your Dog a Nazi, Meechan said, "My girlfriend is always ranting and raving about how cute her dog is, so I thought I would turn her into the least cute thing I could think of, which is a Nazi." When the video was first uploaded last month, Meechan denied it being racist. He insisted he made the video solely to annoy his girlfriend, saying, "I am sorry to the Jewish community for any offense I have caused them. This is never my intention, and I apologize." He should not have to apologize, but he is apologizing because he has to, because he's facing a year in jail because of Scottish law. You see, because in ass-backwards Scotland, they have social justice warrior-inspired hate speech laws, stripping away the freedom of speech of the Scottish people by taking some speech that's offensive to some groups and labeling it harmful speech and making it illegal, which comes with the penalty of jail time. So not only is it illegal to make jokes that might be seen as offensive, but they can also use this law to shut down anyone with an opinion they do not like. This is the social justice, politically correct speech slippery slope that we've been speaking about. The article went on to say he has since declined to comment further, most likely because his lawyer told him not to. However, a spokesman for the Scottish Council of Jewish Communities told the Daily Mirror, "Anti-Semitism is not something that in any degree can be regarded as a joke." Oh really? You're so important that no one can joke about you. I disagree. No person and no group is beyond mockery. No race, no religion, and no belief system should be held so sacred that you cannot criticize it or mock it. There may be social consequences for having these opinions and making these jokes, but the government should never, I repeat, never determine which opinions can be be heard and which ones cannot be. Because that is the tool of fascist dictatorships where the people are a slave to the government, not a democracy where the government is a servant to the people. But despite the fact that even if he was an anti-Semite, he should be allowed to voice his opinion, because if you cannot voice your opinion, then you're not free. But despite that, that is not what happened here, because he is not an anti-Semite. He was making fun of Nazism. This YouTuber, COUNTDANKULA, has attacked Nazis and anti-Semites before, and he made it very clear in the video that Nazis were the worst thing he could think of.
My girlfriend is always ranting and raving about how cute and adorable her wee dog is, and so I thought I would turn him into the least cute thing that I could think of, which is a Nazi.
His joke was not anti-Semitic and was not glorifying Nazism. It was insulting Nazism. They went on to say, it is a form of racism which needs to be condemned, just as we would condemn any other form of racism, just like we would condemn Islamophobia or anti-African racism. First off, people should be able to make jokes about Islam, white and black, or any race. Comedians do all the time, and it doesn't mean they hate that group that they are mocking. But even if someone is racist in their words, their thoughts, their opinions, the government should not punish them for that. The government should only step in when that racism turns to threats, calls to actions to cause violence, or actual violence or actions taken by the person, or harassment. Though that's the only time the government should step in, because they've actually done something to threaten someone else or to harm someone else. Someone voicing their opinions or making a joke is not harming anyone. But again, I digress, because he is not an anti-Semite, and he was not making a joke at the expense of Jewish people. He was making a joke at the expense of Nazis and his girlfriend's dog. Getting back to the Daily Mirror article, the director of the Scottish Council of Jewish Communities added, to regard the meticulously planned and industrialized murder of 6 million people solely on the grounds of their ethnicity as a joke is outrageous, and for someone who does so to claim not to be racist beggars belief. Really, I find it tragically humorous that you think from watching one video this guy made that you understand what he thinks or what he believes. And I find it shocking that you're willing to put someone in jail for something you think they believe. And I find it reprehensible that a leader in a religion that knows what it's like to be persecuted for what they believe is willing to do the same to someone else. I don't care what you believe that he believes. His video did nothing to harm you or your community, but you're willing to take a year of his life away from him. Who's being more intolerant? Who's being more harmful? You or him? No matter what the words of his jokes were, actions matter far more. He has exposed and condemned real racists. He's lived his ideals. You claim to follow a religion and a God that's about love, forgiveness, and tolerance. Do you think that your actions reflect those ideals? Because I don't think so. It has now emerged that Meechan was arrested on April 28th at his house in Coatbridge, Lanarkshire, which is right about here. Not that anyone cares. He was subsequently released pending further investigation. Detective Inspector David Cockburn. Cockburn? What a name. Hello, my name's Cockburn. That sounds painful. At Lanarkshire CID said, this clip was shared online and has been viewed almost 1 million times. I would ask anyone who's had the misfortune to have viewed it to think about the pain and hurt the narrative has caused to the minority people in our community. I have thought about it. It's caused absolutely zero harm. This video did not come off the screen and stab anyone. It also did not encourage anyone to hurt anyone else. No one was physically harmed, and no one was told to physically harm anyone else. And there was no threat of violence. The only thing hurt here was people's feelings, and the proposed punishment for hurt feelings is a year in jail. He goes on to say the clip is deeply offensive and no reasonable person can possibly find the content acceptable in today's society. I disagree, because I both have a sense of humor and, like Meechan, don't like Nazis and find it okay to mock them. What is not acceptable in our society is tyranny. The kind of tyranny that comes when you have a government that tells you what you can and cannot say and what you can and cannot think. Ironically, the more you regulate comedy, the more you're like Nazi Germany. And lastly, he states the true reason for why they're putting him in jail. This arrest should serve as a warning to anyone posting such material online or in any other capacity that such views will not be tolerated. This detective, speaking as an agent for the government and law enforcement, is showing that they have no value for your freedom of speech. When your speech becomes inconvenient for their narrative, they will no longer tolerate it. First they came for the comedian YouTubers, but I did nothing. But to the Jewish people that complained about this video, I have a question to ask you. After the social justice warriors, in the name of diversity, flood your country with Muslim immigrants that hate you so much, do you think that your eventual Muslim majority leadership will use these tyrannical laws that silence freedom of speech and opinion to protect you? Or will they be used like they have in the past to enslave your people yet again? If you do not see the irony in what you're doing, then you are a fool. And if it wasn't already clear that this is a massive miscarriage of justice, it gets worse. Only 6 hours and 45 minutes away, still within the United Kingdom, a woman commits assault with a deadly weapon and is going to receive no jail time. As reported by ABC News, Oxford student who stabbed boyfriend may be spared jail. A British judge has deferred sentencing for Oxford University student who pleaded guilty for stabbing her boyfriend in a drug-fueled argument, after remarking that the extraordinary woman might not be able to become a surgeon. Who cares what she wants to do? She committed a crime. She assaulted someone with a knife, she threw a laptop at them, and then punched that person in a drug-fueled rage. What does the judge mean by extraordinary? If you look at her picture, I'm assuming it's because she's smart and very attractive. Funnily enough, neither are, and nor should they be, factors in determining someone's punishment for violent crimes. For some reason, I don't feel he would be so lenient had the perpetrator been a man. And being hopped up on drugs, as I covered with the skeptic feminist case, is not an excuse for committing acts of violence. It is only one more link in the chain of your bad decisions. Oxford Crown Court Judge Ivan Pringle last week put off the sentencing of the 24-year-old Ivina Woodward until September, and he suggested he might not give her a custodial sentence. That means no jail time. Meanwhile, Count Dankula posts a humorous video online that harms no one and he stabs no one and gets a year in jail. What happened to equal crime, equal punishment? And the judge continued, "It seems to me this is a one-off, a complete one-off, to prevent this extraordinary, able young lady from following her long-held desire to enter the profession that she wishes to, would be a sentence which would be too severe." The Oxford Times reported Pringle as saying, "Who cares? We have laws as a standard of punishment that's supposed to be applied equally to all people. The only two true forms of equality that a government can ever achieve is equality of opportunity and equality under the law. The fact that she may miss out on her career or may be delayed in her career as a surgeon is the consequence of her own actions. The law must be blind and applied evenly, and not swayed by a pretty face." The case caused a stir among Britain's newspapers, with the Sun tabloid reporting that Woodward was too brainy to be jailed. In my opinion, you can't be too smart if you stab someone over a minor argument. Woodward's attorney Jim Sternum declined to comment. However, the chairman of the Criminal Bar Association said Wednesday that a number of mitigating circumstances likely contributed to Pringle's decision to give her a chance to address her drug addiction before sentencing. Besides showing remorse, Woodward pleaded guilty, had no previous convictions, and was involved in a single incident. All of the same things can be said about Meechan, but he's receiving a year in jail, no questions asked, no second chance, and he didn't even commit a violent crime like this girl did. The chairman said to seize upon a single throwaway remark by the judge is probably unfair because it does not represent the process. However, when the process is simply that she needs to go to drug rehab and stay out of trouble until September when she gets sentenced, just to get a slap on the wrist for a violent assault with a deadly weapon doesn't sound much better, particularly when you compare it to the punishment that Count Dankula is receiving for a non-violent crime that shouldn't be a crime in the first place. These two cases, side by side, show a horrendous inequity in the United Kingdom's justice system, one of which they should be ashamed of and they need to fix. And it is also a cautionary tale to other Western nations to what happens when they kowtow to the social justice political correctness, when they pass laws that are applied unevenly based on your victim status, and when they empower the government to silence voices of dissent. Sometimes the road to tyranny is long, and sometimes it's short, but you'll recognize it when you get there. Direwolf, out.
Sieg Heil!
If you want to hear Direwolf and Friends streaming live semi-daily on political and social commentary, as well as playing games like Quiplash and Drawful, please check out the YouTube channel Direwolf Radio, which is linked in the description of this video.